Hey, welcome back to the show where we talk all things funds and finance. Today we're going to talk about what is a high watermark, how to use them in a hedge fund, and why you want to have them as an investor. So let's go down to the iPad of truth and justice to see what we got here. So now this traditionally is for hedge funds. This doesn't happen as often in close-ended real estate funds or close-ended venture capital funds, but in hedge funds specifically, this happens quite a bit. Now, most hedge funds typically charge two different types of fees. Number one is you have management fees, typically around 2%. This is typically 2% of the capital in the fund, not total AUM and debt, just the capital raised from you in the fund. Typically charged at a quarterly rate, so 0.5% every quarter gets taken out and given to managers to keep the lights on, to keep the whole fund afloat. The next type of fee charged to a fund manager is a performance fee. Now, this is what us as fund managers are all going after. And some of you guys know I've ran 3 funds now. We've trained and coached students that have run hundreds of funds in the hundreds of millions, even billion-dollar realm. It's pretty cool what we do here at Invest Fund Secrets. Pretty fun. And everybody in all of our communities, we all are trying to go after this, right? Big performance fees. Now, in a typical fund, you can have a hurdle rate or a pref or a catch-up, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to keep it simple for today. Typically, you see an 80-20 split. 80% to the investor, and my 20% cut off there, 20% to the manager, okay? So if you ever heard the term 2 and 20, that means 2% management fee and 20%, this is called carried interest or a performance fee based on how well the fund performs. Now, let's go down to this beautiful graph that I drew with my own 2 hands here. So let's say we started our investment at $50,000 with a particular fund, okay? And they're gonna do a 2 and 20 model. Now, let's say this investment year 1 or term 1 did very, very well. We had an awesome time. We got all the way up to 150,000. Let's say the next year we went down to 100 grand, and then we went back up to $200,000, okay? And my graph is way off, but you guys get the point, okay? You get what I'm going for here. This is kind of what we got. Now, the purpose for, again, a high water mark is so that fund managers don't collect fees 2 or 3 times based on different time periods. So, for example, this first growth right here, an investor, let's just keep the number simple. We're gonna split 80-20 on this growth for performance fees, okay? Man, we did really well, and hey, oh shoot, crap. We had a bad little time, we're down. So we're gonna take just zero fees are charged because there was no performance, okay? We only collected our management fees. What we've done is set a high watermark right here. We don't want investors, because this next year it starts to grow. We don't want investors to be charged again for that amount of money. Does that make sense? Because they already were charged that money here. From here to here, they were already billed an 80-20 split for that performance. Now by this term, they hit that performance again. The fund manager, because of a high watermark, don't make any performance fees until, again, they get above that high watermark. And at this point, they can get above that high watermark. Everything from here to here would then, again, split from 80-20. So if you look at it from a long-term perspective, let me zoom out a little bit. From term 1 here, all the way to here, the split ended up being a fair 80-20, like we all agreed upon. It wasn't 80-20, then down, then 80-20 again, double. It's like getting double taxed. No one likes that. Now, a good question to ask is, Bridger, how long does this happen for? Does this ever reset? Again, you're the fund manager. You can determine what you'd like to do, but typically what we've seen is that this does not reset. You don't reset your high watermark. It is for the length of your hedge fund. And again, these are measures put in place to protect investors from being double taxed or double feed, any way you like to put it. If you want to learn more on how to start a hedge fund, you can click some of the videos above. We have videos on how to start a hedge fund, how to start a private equity fund, and we're throwing a bunch of live events. So if you guys want to come to one of our live events called Fund Launch Live, click link below. Tickets are still available. We'll see you guys there.